Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to continue with the purchase order module, but today we're focusing on the supplier stock code cross-reference. Now let's get started. Today's video will include the following: adding supplier stock code references, adding a supplier contract price, reviewing and adding a supplier contract price, reviewing and deleting a supplier contract price, selecting the supplier price during purchase order entry, running a global expiry date update, and lastly, purging expired prices. Supplier stock cross-reference is a program that enables you to link a supplier code to a SYSPRO stock code and the supplier's catalog number to the stock code. Companies prefer employees to use their own stock codes and references when buying. This helps users to select the correct item for purchasing as well as sales. Customers can also refer to your catalog numbers and prevent the delivery of incorrect products. So we're going to start first by going to purchase orders, and then we're going to go to setup, and we're going to scroll down, and we're going to go to supplier stock code cross-reference. Here we're going to enter the supplier code. So in this case, it's going to be 13, and we're going to tap off. Next, we're going to enter the stock code. GF100, and we're going to tap off. And here on catalog, you're going to enter the supplier stock code, which is probably the one on the catalog. So we're going to enter the stock code. GB bracket G bracket 100, and we're going to tap off. Here we're going to enter the demonstrated lead time. For example, we're going to say the lead time is 10 days, and we're going to tap off. Last price paid is the last price that we paid the supplier, so we're going to say 950, and we're going to tap off. Tap off all the way to the supplier's stock description, and we're going to enter how the supplier described this specific stock code. So garden bench, green, and we're going to save, and we're going to say yes. And that's it, and we're going to close the program. So we're going to go to purchase orders, and we're going to go to supplier stock cross-reference right there, and we're going to go to setup, and we're going to go to stock code cross-reference, and we're going to go to contract price maintenance. So here you're going to enter the supplier code. So let's just say 1, and we're going to tap off. And here you're going to enter the stock code. So A101, and we're going to tap off. Here we're going to enter the contract name or number, however you would identify this contract. 5, and we're going to tap off. Here you can enter the reference for the contract. I'm just going to leave it as is. We're going to tap off, and here we're going to enter the purchase price. So we're going to say 300, and we're going to tap off, and we're going to go all the way down to valid from. So this contract is valid from, let's just say it's valid from today, which is the 3rd of June, and the expiry date will be, let's say, somewhere in September, maybe the 30th of September. And we're going to save, and we're going to close the program. So we're going to go to purchase orders, and we're going to go to supplier stock cross-reference, and we're going to go to transaction processing, and we're going to go to supplier contract prices by supplier. There we go, and we're just going to make it bigger. As you can see, include cross-references is already ticked. That is exactly what we want. And now we're going to filter by supplier. We're going to say single, and we're going to choose one. We're going to tap off, and we're going to come to the stock code filter, and we're going to say range, and we're going to say from stock code A100. Going to tap off, and we're going to say to stock code A103, and we're going to select start review. Here you will see the contract for this specific supplier for the stock codes that you have chosen, and when you say add on A100, you are able to add. And here on A101, when we extend the tree, you can see the contract that we already entered previously. And here we're going to add a contract for stock code A102, and we're going to say add. And again, the contract name this time is MB16. And we're going to tap off. Again, here you can enter a reference for this contract. I'm just going to leave it as is. And here we're going to enter the purchase price, 300, and we're going to tap off. And we're going to go all the way to valid from, and we're going to choose today's date. And the expiry date is going to be in September 30th. And we're going to save, and we're going to close here. And as you can see, the contract MB16 has been added. And if you have to add the same contract or a different contract for the other stock codes, you can do so. And we're going to close this program. We're going to go to purchase orders, and we're going to go to supplier stock cross-reference, and we're going to go to transaction processing, and we're going to go to supplier contract prices by supplier. Okay, again, we are making sure that include cross-references is ticked, which it is. And here we're going to go to the single supplier, and we're going to enter the supplier code. We're going to tap off, coming down here on the stock code filter, and we're going to say single because we know which one we're trying to delete. So we're going to say A102, and then we're going to start the review. Here you will see the contracts for this supplier for this specific stock code, and we're going to extend the tree. As you can see, there is a contract already there. So you can delete, and it will ask you if you are sure you want to delete this contract, and you will say yes. And now there is no contract under the stock code for this supplier, and we're going to close this program. So we're going to go to purchase orders, purchase order processing, and we're going to go to purchase order entry. Okay, perfect. Okay, so here we're going to enter the supplier, which is 1, and we're going to tap off. Okay, and the purchase order date, let's put in the current date today, which is the 3rd of June, and the due date. I'm going to scroll for a due date. Let's just say the 17th would be the purchase order due date. And we're going to tap off. Tap off, come all the way to the buyer. Let's say for this example, the buyer is Peter. Peter's buyer code is PS for Peter Smith. and we're going to go to add lines. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the stock code is going to be A101, and we're going to tap off. As you can see, the information has populated, and here we're going to enter the quantity, which is 20. We're going to tap off, and we're going to go all the way to the costing method, and we're going to go to supplier price. We're going to tap off, and we're going to select. As you can see, the contract is there, MB15. We're going to select that one right there, and we're going to save. We're going to say OK, and there is your purchase order line with the price that is on the contract. And we're going to end order. You could either print, preview, continue with the order, or end the order, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to end the order. And we're going to close this program, close. So we're going to go to purchase orders, and we're going to go to supplier stock cross-reference, and we're going to go to transaction processing, and we're going to go to global expiry date update. And here we're going to enter the new expiry date. So remember, for our supplier 1, the expiry date is the 30th of September for the contract that we added. So let's say we want to update it to November the 29th. So we'll select the new expiry date of that contract, or rather of the contracts that the supplier has. So here you can filter just by the supplier, say supplier 1, tap off, and you can even filter further and choose certain stock codes. For this example, let's just say for this supplier, all their contracts, we want their new expiry date to be the 29th of November. So we're going to say update expiry dates, and we're going to say OK. And here you will see contracts associated with this specific supplier, and you'll see the stock codes as well, and they will be updated to the new expiry date. If there were more contracts, this program would have updated all the contracts for this specific supplier. But because there's only one contract that was updated, and we're going to close. You're going to go to purchase orders, and you're going to go to supplier stock cross-reference, and you're going to come here on purge of expired prices. Okay, let's just make it bigger. Okay, there we go. So here we're going to purge prices before a certain date. So let's say before May the 17th. Okay, and we're going to go to stop processing, and we're going to say OK. As you can see, there are 0 records deleted because there weren't any contracts before the 17th of May. But if they were, it would show you the number of contracts that were deleted and the description of those contracts. So we're going to close this program. We have reached the end of today's video. Please be sure to like, comment which videos you'd like to see in future, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please do follow us on our LinkedIn page. The link is in the description below, and thank you for watching this video.